My name is Marcus Banyez. I'm an addict and an 1835 alumni. So I had been, a pretty avid drug and alcohol user for the majority of, my young adult life. Like I started really getting hard into drugs and alcohol when I was about 14 years old. I'd been involved in, organized crime, gang activity for, several years. And I had always just told myself that it was okay because I surrounded myself with people that made it very much the norm. Eventually my life just continued to spiral out of control to the point where I couldn't pretend that I could control it anymore. People that I thought would always be there weren't anymore. The things that I thought that I would always have weren't anymore. And, I basically was left alone with no one but myself and my actions and the consequences of those. And the pain got so unbearable, August 11th, 2018, that I tried to take my own life. I woke up in the hospital and I was kind of confused. I didn't really know where I was or what was going on. All I knew is that at that moment in time, I didn't want to live a life like that anymore. I was terrified that I came so close to death with ideally so much life left ahead of me. I was only, my early 20s. 2018, I kind of just got into like a really bad spot in life. I had tried, managing on my own. I tried, going to meetings a little bit, never really doing the work. I kind of got to this rock bottom place where I just really didn't know where there was any way out. I went to detox in Edmonton because I'm actually from Fort Saskatchewan, a little small town just outside of there. And I was so desperate and just so scared at the time that I didn't want to wait. I had my name on pretty much waiting lists for most of the treatment centers in Southern Alberta. And on a whim, I got the call actually from 1835 that a bed had opened up. And it was about 2 days sooner than the next treatment center that I was on the list for. And that 2 days was a big difference for me. I wasn't sure if I would live that extra 2 days, let alone be able to just stay sober. So I jumped on it, kind of blindly, not really knowing too much about the program, but man, am I ever glad that I did. I met some really good people in that house, and the counselors alone too. Were just really phenomenal. I think some of the best memories that I have sober actually all started in this house. I had always pictured addicts and alcoholics, other than myself, as maybe, scary people, people that I might have to fight with over protection of my items when going into a treatment center. And I walked in the door of 1835, and I just remember coming down the steps. That's actually a moment I'll never be able to forget. I was so nervous and I was so scared, and as soon as I walked down the bottom of the staircase, I seen the biggest tattooed, bald-headed, linebacker looking dude starts walking up to me, and he says to me, and I thought he was going to say something rude. I thought he was going to try and challenge me or something. He just says, "Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the house. What's your name?" Shakes my hand. And it really caught me off guard. I didn't expect, that kind of greeting. And it's crazy because that wasn't just my initial experience with the house. That's kind of the entire experience that I had the whole time I was there. I don't think I've ever been somewhere so immediately inclusive, where you can just walk in and it's like you've belonged there your whole life, and it was crazy. I'll never be able to forget that. So as an alumni, since I left the house, obviously right now we're in the middle of a pandemic, so it's a little bit harder to get as involved as I want to. But under normal circumstances, ever since I got out of the house in November of 2018, I've been trying to be at the house at least once a week to go talk to new guys, go spend some time, sit in the in-house meetings. It's actually funny too, because anytime I've had a challenging time in my life, the loss of a close loved one or a friend, very stressful period, let's say with work or something, if I needed to take a day to myself, usually those days to myself are actually spent at the house. I sit there and I come and visit with the counselors. I actually stay in contact with a few of them to this day, just to call and check in once in a while. Right now, occasionally I'll join in the odd Zoom meeting here and there if they have one online. And sometimes I come in and speak to the new guys as well for the speaker meetings on Wednesdays. So yeah, it's really nice that once you leave here, you don't have to kind of go off on your merry way. You can still stay connected. It's like I just took the old life that I had and, you know, wiped the slate clean and just started fresh. You know, I've got relationships with friends that stem way deeper than any relationship I've ever had in my life. You know, I have people that I've met through the house and through, you know, 12-step programs and stuff that I genuinely care about them and their well-being, and they do the same for me, and I'm not used to having that. You know, I can hold down a job for once. You know, I'm able actually to manage money a little bit better. I don't feel like I'm prey to misery and depression anymore. And even when those things come on, when I have unfortunate circumstances, because, you know, not everything's all sunshine and rainbow farts all the time, but I have the tools necessary to deal with the low spots when they come. And I think that's really what's important to me, isn't just finding temporary happiness. You know, I'm in pursuit of contentment, and I feel like I got a lot of the beginnings of that when I came through the house.